Cardi B is once again shaking up the internet, but this time it's not about music, money, or fashion. It's about revenge. Word on the street is that Cardi might be cheating back on Stefon Diggs. Yes, the same NFL star who stole her heart after her messy split from Offset. And if the rumors are true, things are about to get way messier than anyone. Expected sources close to the couple are whispering that Cardi's been seen spending a little too much time with someone from her past, a mystery man she swore she was completely done with. But fans are connecting the dots, and it's not looking good for the WAP rapper. Just weeks ago, she and Stefon were the definition of power couple vibes, courtside smiles, late-night parties, and matching designer fits. Now she's deleting pictures, posting cryptic messages, and fans are screaming, "Cardi's spinning the block." Insiders claim that after discovering Stefon's secret girls' trip to Miami, Cardi decided to play him at his own game, and the receipts are wild. From late-night studio sessions to flirty DMs and mysterious paparazzi photos. It seems Cardi's revenge may have gone too far. Stay tuned, because if what we're hearing is true, this might be the biggest celebrity betrayal of the year. It all started on what seemed like a normal Friday night in Los Angeles. Cardi B had just wrapped up a long studio session. Posting playful snippets on her Instagram story, laughing, singing along to unreleased tracks. Everything looked picture perfect from the outside. But behind the scenes, whispers were already spreading. Whispers that something had shifted between her and Stefon Diggs. Fans had noticed it first. Cardi hadn't liked or commented on any of Stefon's posts in over a week. And for a couple that used to flood each other's comments with heart emojis and inside jokes, that silence spoke volumes. People close to the situation claimed Cardi had found something she didn't like, something that cut deep. According to one insider, Cardi accidentally came across Stefon's messages on his iPad. Messages that hinted at a flirty exchange with a woman known only as Mariah. When she confronted him, Stefon brushed it off, saying, "Baby, you know how people get when they see a blue check? They just want attention." But Cardi wasn't buying it. She knew the tone of that conversation too well. It was the same kind of playful flirting she used to have with Stefon when they first met. And in Cardi's world, disrespect was the ultimate betrayal. After that argument, everything started to crumble. Stefon flew out to Miami for what he called business meetings and team events, but Cardi felt something was off. She told her best friend Star Brim, "Girl, tell me why he suddenly got to go to Miami without me. And he ain't even posts where he's staying at. That's weird, right?" Star agreed, telling her she wasn't crazy. But Cardi's instincts had already kicked in. She started keeping tabs, watching his teammates' stories, checking who he followed, and noticing a particular influencer popping up at the same spots. He was at when a video surfaced of Stefon at a Miami yacht party. Surrounded by models, Cardi's fans went wild. "Why Cardi ain't there?" One fan commented. "Something's fishy," said another. Cardi tried to play it cool online, posting funny TikToks and makeup videos, but people could sense the storm brewing. Her caption on one post read, "Karma always spins the block. Remember that?" Fans flooded the comments with theories. Was she talking about Stefon? Was she planning something? A few nights later, Cardi was spotted leaving a downtown lounge at 2 a.m. with a mystery man. The paparazzi photos were blurry, but the internet worked fast. Within hours, fans had identified him as a well-known producer, someone Cardi had worked with years ago. And, according to old rumors, someone she used to have a little something with. Cardi didn't confirm or deny anything, but her sly smile in those photos said enough. It was the beginning of what fans now call Cardi's revenge era. Things only escalated from there. Stefon, back from Miami, posted a picture at home with the caption, "Focus on what matters." Cardi didn't like it. Didn't comment. Instead, she posted a story of herself in the studio, captioned "Making art out of pain." And then, late one night, she went live on Instagram. Her voice was calm at first, but her eyes were full of fire. "Sometimes people think they can play with you, and you've just gone sit there and take it," she said. "But nah, I ain't built like that." I give the same energy you give me, and maybe a little more." The live ended abruptly after a few minutes, but that was enough to light social media on fire. She talking about Stefon. Fans tweeted, "Cardi's about to drop a bomb." Others speculated she might drop a diss track. But it wasn't music she was planning, it was payback the next day. She was seen at a high-end restaurant in Beverly Hills with the same producer from before. Witnesses said they were laughing, whispering, and even holding hands at one point. Someone managed to capture a short clip from across the room, Cardi leaning in, smiling while the man brushed something off her shoulder. It spread like wildfire on Twitter and TikTok. "Cardi out here doing what she gotta do," one fan posted. Another wrote, "If Stefon cheated, this is what he deserves." Meanwhile, Stefon's camp tried to do damage control. One of his teammates posted on social media, "Y'all making up stories? Bro was chilling the whole time in Miami." But by then, the narrative was out of their hands. Cardi had turned the tables, and the public loved it. Behind closed doors, though, it wasn't just about headlines. Cardi was torn. As strong as she looked online, she was still hurt. Friends said she cried after seeing the Miami video, that she kept replaying clips and asking how he'd do me like that. But then she'd wipe her tears and say, "Nah, I ain't letting no man make me look stupid again." That mix of heartbreak and pride pushed her to do what came next 2 nights later. Cardi hosted a private party at a mansion in the Hollywood Hills. Only close friends, a few industry names, and yes, that same producer were there. According to multiple guests, Cardi was glowing, confident, unbothered, and surrounded by people hyping her up. Someone claimed they overheard her say, "Let him see what missing me looks like." When videos from that night leaked, showing her dancing with the producer while the crowd cheered, the internet exploded again. Stefon stayed silent, which only fueled more rumors. Cardi's fans began calling it her cheating back moment, even though nothing had been confirmed. Gossip blogs ran with it, headlines everywhere reading, "Cardi gets even," "Cardi seen with mystery man amid Stefon rumors," and "Revenge never looked this good." But beneath all the social media chaos, there was still a real relationship falling apart. Cardi and Stefon hadn't spoken in days, and according to someone close to Cardi, she was waiting to see if he'd own up, apologize, or just fade away. When he didn't reach out, she made her next move. She posted a now viral clip on her story. Just a short video of her in the studio, humming over a beat and saying, "You can't play a player, baby." Within minutes, comments flooded in. "Oh, she's done this about Stefon. We getting a diss track for real." And that's when everything changed, because Stefon finally responded. He posted a cryptic tweet that read, "It's funny how some people act when they feel guilty." And with that, the internet lost its mind. Fans were divided. Team Cardi or Team Stefon, everyone picked sides. Cardi, however, didn't say a word. Instead, she was seen once again with that same producer, this time leaving a luxury hotel. The drama had officially reached its boiling point. And what came next would shock even the people closest to them. The morning after those hotel photos dropped, Cardi's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Every blog, every gossip page, every fan account was tagging her. Side-by-side pictures of her and the producer walking out of that hotel. Stefon's name was trending right alongside hers, and everyone was speculating what went down. Cardi didn't post anything at first, but her silence only made things worse. Rumors were spiraling out of control. Some said she spent the night there. Others claimed she was working on a secret project. But those who knew Cardi best could tell this wasn't about music. This was personal. Later that day, Cardi finally broke her silence, but not with words. She posted a photo of herself on a balcony, wearing a silk robe, sipping champagne with the caption, "Mood when you remember who you are." It was subtle, but the message was loud and clear. She wasn't hiding. She wasn't ashamed, and she definitely wasn't heartbroken anymore. The internet went wild. "Cardi is in her savage era," one fan wrote. Another said, "This is the Cardi that don't play." But while fans were cheering, Stefon wasn't laughing. People close to him said he felt humiliated. He had been trying to keep things low-key, but Cardi's every move was making him look like the bad guy. According to a source from his team, Stefon called Cardi that night. Witnesses say the conversation started calm but quickly turned into a heated argument. "You out here embarrassing me," Stefon allegedly shouted. "You think people don't know what those pictures mean?" Cardi fired back. "Embarrassing you? Boy, you did that yourself when you were out in Miami with them girls." They went back and forth for nearly an hour. Stefon tried to explain that the Miami trip wasn't what it looked like, that the video was taken out of context. But Cardi wasn't hearing it. Cardi wasn't hearing it. "You can't disrespect me and expect me to sit quiet," she said before hanging up on him. After that call, insiders say she blocked his number at least for a few days. Meanwhile, fans kept digging. Someone found old photos of Cardi and the producer from years ago when they worked on a track together. People began piecing together timelines, making theories. One tweet that went viral read, "So Cardi back with her ex-producer, the same one she used to vibe with before Offset. Oh, this is deeper than we thought." Within hours, it had over 100,000 likes. The narrative was out of Cardi's control now, but she didn't seem to care. She was seen heading to the studio again, laughing with her friends, looking completely unbothered. But behind closed doors, things weren't as lighthearted as they looked. Her team was worried. One of her publicists reportedly told her, "This is starting to look messy. We need to clear the air." Cardi just smiled and said, "Let them talk. I got my own way of handling things." And that's exactly what she did. 2 days later, she teased a snippet from an unreleased song on her Instagram story. The lyrics: "You broke my trust, I broke the rules, now we even." Fans lost it. "Oh, she's airing him out. This about Stefon for sure. She's speaking her truth." This snippet became a viral sound within hours. Stefon, on the other hand, was struggling to maintain his image. His teammates were teasing him in the locker room. The sports blogs were dragging his name. And even fans at his games started holding up signs like "Don't fumble Cardi," according to one source. He told his friend, "Man, this ain't even funny anymore. I love that girl." He was hurt, but he couldn't admit it publicly, not while the whole internet was clowning him. Things took another turn when Stefon showed up at one of Cardi's events unannounced. It was a private industry gathering in Hollywood, and people there said he looked tense. When he spotted Cardi talking to the producer, he approached them. The atmosphere changed instantly. The music kept playing, but everyone could feel the tension. Witnesses said Stefon walked up and said, "Can we talk?" Cardi looked at him for a moment, then replied, "About what?" "You made your choice." The producer stepped aside, not wanting to escalate things, but Stefon wasn't backing down. "You trying to make me look like a fool out here," he said, his voice low but tight. Cardi replied, "You did that yourself. I just matched your energy." People nearby said it was one of the most uncomfortable scenes they'd ever witnessed. A few security guards subtly stepped closer, just in case things got out of hand. Cardi eventually turned away, saying, "You don't get to play victim now," before walking off with her friends. The next morning, videos from that night leaked online. Blurry, grainy, but you could still make out the tension. Headlines everywhere screamed, "Cardi confronts Stefon in public." Heated scene at Hollywood event and trouble in paradise confirmed. The internet once again split into sides. Some defended Cardi, saying she had every right to clap back, while others claimed she'd taken things too far as the drama unfolded online. Cardi's inner circle started noticing how drained she looked. One of her close friends told a blogger anonymously, "Cardi puts on a brave face, but she's tired. She loves hard, and this situation messed with her more than she lets on." That confession hit fans hard. They began flooding her comments with support, telling her to stay strong and focus on her happiness. But instead of retreating, Cardi did what she does best. She turned her pain into art. She announced a surprise single drop at midnight. No promo, no warning, just a single tweet. "For anybody who thought I was quiet, think again." When the song dropped, it broke the internet. The lyrics were raw and emotional. She talked about betrayal, revenge, and finding power again. One line that stood out was, "You showed me your weakness, so I showed you my worth." Fans dissected every lyric, convinced it was aimed at Stefon. Stefon posted nothing for days after that. His last tweet was still the same cryptic one, but people noticed he stopped following Cardi. She unfollowed him back shortly after. Their pictures together slowly disappeared from her profile one by one. Fans realized the breakup was official. But just when everyone thought it was over, Cardi was spotted again, this time flying out to New York with the same producer. Cameras caught them laughing, holding hands, and looking happier than ever. Social media exploded with posts like, "Cardi moved on quick and Stefon fumbled the bag for real." But what no one knew was that things were about to take another sharp turn. Because while Cardi seemed to be moving on, there was something Stefon had discovered, something that could flip the entire story on its head. And once it came to light, everyone would see that this drama was far from finished. Stefon had been quiet for days. But silence doesn't mean surrender. Behind that calm exterior, he was digging for answers, and what he found shocked even him. One of his close friends, who happened to be at that Hollywood party, told him something he couldn't ignore. Apparently, the producer Cardi had been hanging around with wasn't just an ex-flame or an old friend. There was something deeper, something Stefon didn't see coming. According to that friend, Cardi and the producer had been talking long before the Miami trip even happened, weeks before the public breakup rumors started at first. Stefon didn't believe it. He thought it was just another rumor floating around. But when he checked some old texts and timelines, things didn't add up. Certain nights when Cardi said she was in the studio late, she had actually been at private sessions with that same producer. And one particular date stood out, a night she told him she was too tired to hang out. But paparazzi photos later surfaced showing her at a private listening event downtown. Right next to that producer, it hit him like a punch to the chest. All the times he'd tried to defend her, all the times he told his teammates, "Nah, Cardi would never do that," suddenly felt like a joke. The irony burned. She'd accused him of playing games, yet she'd been hiding something herself. For Stefon, this wasn't just about pride anymore, it was about betrayal. He didn't go public right away. Instead, he confronted one of Cardi's mutual friends, hoping to get the truth. Was she really seeing him before Miami? He asked. The friend hesitated but finally admitted, "Look, it wasn't like that at first. She was hurt, she needed someone to talk to. But yeah, they got close fast." That confirmation broke whatever was left of his restraint. Stefon took to Twitter later that night, posting, "Funny how people rewrite the story to make themselves look like the victim?" Within minutes, Cardi's fans flooded the replies demanding to know what he meant. Then, a well-known gossip blogger posted a screenshot that seemed to show messages between Cardi and the producer, dated weeks before the Miami trip. The messages were flirty, teasing, and definitely not professional. Whether they were real or not didn't matter. The internet believed them. Fans went wild. So Cardi been cheating back before he even cheated? One tweet said, "This whole thing messy, messy." Another wrote, "Cardi saw it all unfolding online." But instead of responding, she doubled down. She posted a video on her story of herself getting her nails done. Music blasting in the background, with the caption, "They love making up stories, but I'm still getting paid." Her confidence was undeniable. But people close to her said she was furious behind the scenes. That night, Cardi called her team for an emergency meeting. "They trying to flip the story on me," she said, pacing around the room. "I'm not letting nobody paint me like some liar." Her team tried to calm her down, reminding her that feeding the drama would only keep it alive. But Cardi wasn't one to stay quiet when she felt attacked. She went live again, this time addressing everything head-on. "I don't owe nobody no explanations," she said, staring straight into the camera. "I'm grown. I make my own choices, and if somebody wanna act single, then I'ma act single too. Don't get mad when I start matching energy." Fans filled the live comments with fire emojis, hearts, and support. But others noticed something. Her tone wasn't playful this time. She sounded hurt, raw, and defensive. Stefon watched the live too. And while he'd been angry before, seeing her like that made him pause. Maybe she really was just reacting to his mistakes. Maybe both of them were too caught up in ego to see what was left between them. He drafted a message, something like, "Can we talk privately?" But he never hit send. Instead, he poured his frustration into an Instagram story, posting a black screen with the words, "Sometimes love ain't enough." The next few days were a whirlwind. Blogs were posting sources from both sides. One claimed Cardi and the producer were officially dating. Another said it was all just for publicity, that she and Stefon were secretly working on a joint business deal. But the most explosive rumor came from a celebrity gossip page that claimed there was a video. A clip of Cardi and the producer looking way too close at that private party in the hills. No one knew if it was real, but the headline alone caused chaos. Fans begged Cardi to address it. She stayed quiet again until one night, when she finally posted a cryptic tweet, "Ain't nothing worse than people acting like they perfect." When they got skeletons too? That tweet flipped the script again. Now people were speculating that Stefon wasn't as innocent as he'd been pretending. Some fans even started digging up old posts from other women linking him to flirty messages and private dinners during his off-season. The back and forth became a full-blown social media war. Cardi's fans, the Barty gang, started trending hashtags like Team Cardi always wins, while Stefon's supporters clapped back with "Stay strong, Stefon." Every little move either of them made became a headline. Cardi changed her profile picture. It was news. Stefon liked a random post about loyalty. Instant drama, but all of this came to a breaking point during an event in New York. Cardi was performing at a high-profile fashion gala after-party. The crowd was loud, the energy was high, until Cardi suddenly stopped mid-performance. She looked directly at someone in the audience, her face tightening. That someone was Stefon. He had shown up unexpectedly, standing near the back with his hands in his pockets. Watching her dot for a few seconds, the entire room froze. People whispered. Phones came out, flashes went off. Then Cardi, without missing a beat, said into the mic, "Since people love showing up uninvited, let's dedicate this next one to all the ones who thought I wouldn't glow without them." The crowd erupted. It was savage, powerful, and painfully personal. Stefon stood there for a moment longer, then quietly walked out. That clip went viral instantly. Millions of views in hours. Cardi just ethered Stefon in real life. One tweet said, "She turned heartbreak into a performance," said another. But while everyone else was entertained, those close to the couple knew things had gone too far. There was no coming back from that after the gala. Stefon posted a message on his Instagram story that read, "You win, shorty. I'm done." That post marked what fans saw as the end. Cardi didn't respond publicly, but people close to her said she broke down after the show. All the power, all the confidence, it didn't erase the pain. She really loved him, her friend reportedly said, but she loved herself more. And yet, even as the dust seemed to settle, something unexpected was brewing behind the scenes. The producer, the one everyone thought was her new man, started doing interviews, teasing that he and Cardi had a special connection. One host asked him if they were officially together, and he smirked, saying, "Let's just say we make great music and great memories." That line set off another storm. Fans began to wonder if Cardi had been played again, this time by the very man she thought was on her side. Whispers spread that the producer might have been using her for clout. And when Cardi caught wind of those rumors, she went silent online again, deleting recent photos, canceling a few appearances, and leaving fans confused and worried. That's when people started asking the question no one expected: did Cardi's plan for revenge actually backfire? Because as the headlines began to twist and the public turned their attention elsewhere, it became clear that this drama wasn't just about cheating or payback anymore. It was about pride, trust, and what happens when love becomes a battlefield. But the story wasn't done yet because Cardi was about to make one, the final move that would shock everyone. including Stefon himself. Days passed, but the internet didn't stop talking. Cardi had gone completely quiet. No posts, no stories, no tweets. For someone who lived online, her silence felt deafening. Fans started to worry, wondering if the rumors about her being played again were true. "Where's Cardi?" Trended for 3 days straight. Paparazzi couldn't find her, reporters had no leads. And everyone was desperate for answers. Meanwhile, Stefon seemed to be slowly piecing himself back together. He returned to practice, kept his head down, and stayed off social media. But even he couldn't escape the chaos. Every press interview, every fan encounter, someone brought up Cardi's name. One reporter asked him if he regretted how things ended. He paused for a long time before saying, "Sometimes love don't work the way you want. I still got respect for her." That clip went viral immediately. Fans called it the most mature thing he's ever said. Others claimed it was his way of admitting he missed her. What no one knew was that Cardi had seen that clip too. She was in New York staying low-key at a close friend's penthouse. Her team said she'd been reflecting, trying to get her emotions under control. She'd been burned twice. First by Stefon's alleged disloyalty, then by the producer's shady behavior. According to one friend, Cardi told her, "I let too many people play in my face. This time, I'm not reacting, I'm rebuilding." To rebuild she did. Slowly, she started making moves behind the scenes. She cut ties with the producer, scrapped the collaboration they were supposed to release, and even made a few calls to her team to reschedule appearances she'd previously canceled. Fans started noticing small clues. Her team posting old pictures with cryptic captions like "The Queen is coming." Everyone knew something big was on the way. A week later, Cardi made her grand return. She dropped a short teaser video on her Instagram. No words, no captions, just a clip of her sitting alone in a dark studio, wearing all black, her voice playing in the background saying, "You thought I was done? I was just getting started." Within minutes, the post had millions of views. Comments flooded in. "She's back. Revenge Part 2. Incoming Stefon Betterduck." But this time, it wasn't revenge Cardi was after. It was redemption. A few days later, she released a documentary-style short film on YouTube titled Lessons Learned. In it, she opened up about heartbreak, betrayal, and self-worth. Without naming names, she talked about how easy it is to lose yourself trying to prove a point. "Sometimes," she said softly, "you think you're getting even, but you're just losing more pieces of yourself." Fans were shocked. No drama, no shade, just honesty. It was raw, emotional, and surprisingly mature. Clips from the video went viral all over TikTok. People praised her growth. One user wrote, "This ain't the Cardi from last month. This is a woman who leveled up." Another said, "You can feel the pain, but also the peace." Stefon watched it too. Sources close to him said he was speechless. He didn't expect her to take that route. For weeks he'd braced himself for another diss or a scandal, not something so introspective. Later that night, he posted a simple message on his Instagram story, "Respect." Fans went wild. Some thought it was his way of apologizing. Others believed it was closure. But just when people thought the storm had finally passed, Cardi dropped one last surprise. She announced a new single titled "Cheating Back." The title alone broke the internet. Everyone thought it would be another diss, another revenge anthem. But when the song dropped, it wasn't what anyone expected. Instead of a fiery track, it was a slow, emotional record filled with reflection. The chorus said, "I tried to hurt you like you hurt me, but I only hurt myself." The honesty in her voice was chilling. Fans flooded the comments with messages of support. "She's healing. This is her best song yet. This hit different." Critics praised her vulnerability, calling it her most authentic work since "Be Careful." Within days, "Cheating Back" topped streaming charts. And Cardi was everywhere again, but this time not as the center of scandal. But as a woman who had turned her pain into power, Stefon's response to the song was unexpected. He posted a clip of himself listening to it during his workout, nodding along, then writing, "We both grew from it. That one post sent fans into a frenzy. Are they talking again? Don't tell me they're gonna reunite. But insiders quickly shut down those rumors. According to one friend, they're cool now, but not together. They just finally let go. As weeks went by, both of them started to move forward with their lives. Stefon focused on his career, keeping his circles small and his private life off the internet. Cardi, meanwhile, began a new chapter. She started attending charity events, working with young female artists, and speaking openly about emotional growth. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about reclaiming peace. But the story didn't fade completely. One night during an interview, a host asked Cardi if she still believed in love. She smiled, took a deep breath, and said, "Yeah, I do. But next time, I'm not giving it to someone who gotta be reminded what it's worth." That clip instantly went viral again. Fans called it the perfect mic drop moment. Then came the final twist. Cardi was photographed backstage at an awards show, and who happened to be performing that night? Stefon's team. Cameras caught the briefest moment of them exchanging a nod, a silent acknowledgement of everything they'd been through. No drama, no tension, just two people who'd finally made peace with the chaos as they walked in opposite directions. The internet once again lost its mind. People speculated, joked, theorized, but Cardi didn't respond. She didn't need to. She had already said everything through her actions, her words, and her growth. What started as a messy, emotional whirlwind of accusations, betrayal, and payback had ended with clarity. Cardi had turned her heartbreak into strength, her scandal into art. And while the world still argued about who was right or wrong, she was already on to the next chapter, stronger, wiser, and untouchable. And somewhere out there, as the city lights glowed and fans kept refreshing her page for updates, both Cardi and Stefon knew one thing for sure. Love may fade, fame may twist stories, but lessons, they stay forever. And there you have it. What started as whispers of revenge and betrayal turned into one of the most talked about celebrity stories of the year. Cardi B and Stefon Diggs gave the world drama, heartbreak, and a raw look at how messy love can get when pride and pain collide. From secret messages and emotional outbursts to shocking comebacks and quiet redemption. This story had everything, and it reminded fans that even stars who shine the brightest can fall into the same storms as everyone else. But what do you think really happened behind the scenes? Was Cardi justified in cheating back? Or did things go too far? Do you believe Stefon's side of the story? Or do you think he's just trying to play victim after getting caught? Let's be honest, in Hollywood, nothing is ever as simple as it seems. Maybe there's still more to this story waiting to unfold. And knowing Cardi, she might just drop a few more clues in her next song. So now it's your turn. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Whose side are you on, Team Cardi or Team Stefon? Do you think they'll ever reconcile? Or is this chapter officially closed for good? Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the tea. Subscribe for more celebrity drama breakdowns just like this. And turn on your notifications so you never miss the next scandal. Because if you think this story was wild, just wait until you hear what's coming next. Stay tuned, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next one.